can't promise success, but I swear to you, we'll do everything we can. That much I can promise. I think that's everything this merchant knows. Let's try questioning the other one. What the hell am I supposed to do now? Excuse me, I'm sorry to bother you, but could we have a moment of your time? You're the kids from the military school, right? What do you want from me? I've got nothing to sell you. Even if I did have something, I've got no place to sell it. I'm in ruined. To top it all off, the provincial army and that other damn merchant are acting like I'm the one who did it. He's not taking this very well, is he? Hard to blame him, but we need to see if he knows anything that might help us. Well, you see, you're investigating this mess. Okay. So would you consider cooperating with us? Sure, why not? Not getting my hopes up, as I'm sure you can understand, but hell, I've got nothing left to lose. Not exactly a vote of confidence. Hey, he's willing to cooperate. Say we cut him some slack and hear him out. So about last night, at the time the incident actually happened. Last night, huh? I don't know how much help I can be if that's what you're asking, but I left the market right after arguing with that merchant yesterday, and I didn't come back till this morning. I stayed over at a friend's place. Another merchant just got pissed drunk and ranted at him all night. And you're certain of this? Positive. Ask my friend if you don't believe me. He'll back me up. I wandered over here with an awful hangover this morning, and what I found gave me a hell of a start. My whole stall in shambles. And as if that weren't bad enough, all the processed foods I was going to sell were just gone. So the goods that were stolen were all processed? That's right. Nuts, cheese, bacon, all foods that have a long shelf life, made with local ingredients. Seeing all my stuff gone really sobered me up. It was like I hadn't been drinking at all. And that's when I went over to that fool's stall to make him pay for it. Why did you go straight to him? Because he was the one who did it. He smashed my stall so he could have that spot all to himself. But that doesn't make any sense. If Hines did it, then why was his stall destroyed too? He must have done that to himself. Probably figured if he destroyed his own stall, no one would believe he could be responsible. I don't know. That seems pretty unlikely. Well, I understand your frustration. Baseless accusations do no one any favors and only cloud the true issue. Ugh. But it's frustrating. I've lost so much money because of this, I might have to shut up shop for good. That is bad. If I could at least get my goods back, maybe I could salvage enough to stay afloat, but what are the odds of that? None of the other merchants saw anybody do anything, and the provincial army sure ain't about to help. I'm finished, pure and simple. All the hard work I've put into getting this far, and this is how the dream ends. Well, I'll be honest. I'm not sure how much we'll actually be able to do for you, but we'll do everything in our power to help you find some form of closure. So cheer up, okay? I do appreciate that, but again, I ain't about to get my hopes up. Good luck, though. They both got, alibis and reasons that they're the victims. That's all the two victims of this crime have to say, it seems. What does everybody think? I can't be sure, but I really don't think either of them is responsible. Both merchants certainly have adequate motive to damage the other's stall. But the chance of both committing the same crime on the same night without crossing paths is virtually nil. I can't help but think that the provincial army did this for some weird reason. It's not impossible that they were just out to steal each other's merchandise, but I don't believe that's what happened. Both of them have alibis confirming that they were somewhere else when the crime took place. I'm inclined to agree. I just can't see either of these merchants being responsible for what happened. So we're going to have to look elsewhere to find viable suspects. Where, though? I mean, who could it possibly have been? It's impossible to say right now. We don't have any solid leads. We know who the culprit wasn't, but how are we supposed to start narrowing down who it was? The market itself seems unlikely to produce any further clues, so we should focus our attention elsewhere. Actually, there is one thing that's been bugging me. There's one group of people involved in this whole situation whose actions... Maybe if we can work out the reasoning behind their strange behavior, we can come one step closer to finding our culprit. Whom do you mean? I'm talking about the Provincial Army. The Provincial Army. They haven't done a thing to try and solve this crime despite it happening right under their noses. And that begs the question, why not? The market manager said they're refusing to fulfill their role due to the tax issue, which means the Provincial Army should refuse to intervene in quarrels within the market as well. If that's the case, then why did they come and intervene this morning? Now that you mention it, that really doesn't make any sense. Their methods were atrocious, but the fact is, they brought that dispute to an end almost instantly. They did get involved. Yeah, one minute they're refusing to do anything, the next they're taking a stand. It's definitely suspicious. My point exactly. There's definitely something unnatural about the way they're conducting themselves. And since we have no other leads, what do you say we go to the Army's guardhouse and take a look around? We might be able to learn something from them that could aid us in our investigation. That may be worth an attempt. The guardhouse isn't too far from here either. Let's head on over there. I know I ran by the guardhouse. I seen it. It's over here. Aren't you those students from that military academy? What are you doing here? We're terribly sorry to trouble you, but we were hoping you might be able to help us with something. Could we ask you a few questions about the incident that occurred at the Grand Market this morning? What? What does that have to do with you? We're visiting this town on a field study as students of Thor's Military Academy. And we would very much appreciate the chance to see how experienced soldiers such as yourselves handle difficult everyday situations. Seems a perfect opportunity for an anecdotal case study, and could prove most invaluable able to our education if you'd permit it. They seem... Oh, sorry. Alright, stay here. I'll see what I can do.
Looks like we might be able to hear what they have to say for themselves after all. Nicely done, Laura. In times like these, we need to make good use of our position. No one can fault a student for wanting to learn, after all.
But now comes the hard part.
This makes me nervous. Well, let's just wait and see what we can get out of them. Remember, it's not always what they say that matters, but how they say it. And even more importantly, what they don't say. Right.
I hope you appreciate us taking time out of our busy schedules for this. So, what do you want? Make it quick. I'm a busy man, you know.
He's not even trying to keep up appearance, and unbelievable. I'll be brief then. We came to discuss the incident at the market this morning. Would we be correct in assuming that the Provincial Army will be conducting no further investigation?
Is that all you came to here to ask?
Is that all? Should the armed forces charged with maintaining peace in this region not be taking this matter more seriously? Laura, I'm not sure.
You've got a big mouth for someone your age. And it seems you have a lot to learn about how military units actually work.
What do you mean?
Let me ask you this. What should the number one priority of the Provincial Army be in order to maintain the status quo? I'll tell you. Their number one priority should be to enforce the will of their region's ruling lord,
Duke Alborea.
As members of the Provincial Army, the will of the nobility is absolute. We're just following our orders, protecting what we have a duty to protect.
I assume you're referring to the local petition against the sales tax increase. So you're saying as long as the petition isn't withdrawn, the Grand Market isn't something you have a duty to protect?
Interpret my words however you want. We're soldiers. We follow our orders. That's how the military works. And we don't need some fresh military academy inductee telling us how to do our jobs.
This is short of shame. I was hoping we'd be able to get something out of him, but sure doesn't seem too likely anymore.
So is that it then? I hope this has been enlightening. Now if you'll excuse me, I have a job to do.
Wait, would you mind answering just one more question? Elliot?
Fine, ask it.
Well, do you have any idea what might have happened to the goods Marco was handling? You know, the accessory merchant. All he had left was that one sample.
What are you talking about? That merchant from the capital, Hines, was the one who was planning on selling accessories.
What? What did you say?
What are you all looking at me like that for?
How do you know that? Oh yeah, the one that was selling the accessories never got a chance to to tell people or put it up. I was under the impression you hadn't investigated the matter at all. Oh yeah. That's another thing. They said that they weren't going to investigate it. How peculiar. We only discovered what each of the merchants was intended to sell a short while ago ourselves. Aha!
Sir! We have our own ways of finding these things out. You do well not to